I think most of the time I live my life like I don't need God. I try to do things on my own. I think our society teaches us to be independent.
We all think at points in our life that our own self-sufficiency can do it, can solve our problems.
Ultimately, our deepest desire is that we can control our own world, our own life.
There are times in my life when I come to the end of myself and I realize I can't do it all. There's something wrong with me.
When I look at my person and I see the faults that I carry as a human being in front of any standard, I see failure.
I'm a sinner, and there are ugly things in me, and left to my own devices, it may not be very pretty.
I like to describe my son as a mule being raised by a mule. And so I think that the Lord takes a little hammer and chisel and just works away at us as though we were blocks of marble.
Being broken was coming to the realization that I was more of a sinner than I ever thought I was.
Most people, well, all people are broken. I would say the vast majority don't realize it.
I think we hide from God because God exposes us for who we aren't, and no one wants to see that.
The first verse that comes to mind is, "Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven." That means that we are so spiritually empty. There's no way that we can come to God in our own strength or by our own good works.
To be broken is to come to that realization and realize that I can't change that on my own either, that I need Christ in my life.
Well, I met somebody who invited me to this church, and I hadn't been to church in 30 years, I guess. And I was skeptical about coming, but I came nevertheless. And I've never left, basically. It was wonderful. I just met a whole body of people who were just fantastic, and they sort of led me towards Jesus, basically. I didn't know a whole lot. I still don't know an awful lot, but I know a lot more, and I feel very loved. I found a brand new family. I found a spiritual family. And I found something I have never experienced in my life, ever. And it's hard to put into words, but it's, I just feel it's through their example I've learned how to love the Lord. And it's has been a remarkable experience, actually. I'm sort of trying to pull people from the streets to come and join me here.
What excites me about God is the beautiful way that He redeems, that He steps into the darkness of people's lives and He brings light.
The blind see, the lame walk, the deaf hear, the dead live again, and the poor hear the good news, and that's our God, and our God is still doing that.
It's the greatest story ever told. It's being written anew to all of us every single day.
Once you experience that freedom, there's nothing else that can take that place. So once He comes into your life and you've experienced who He is, your desires become to seek Him out with everything that you have.
Our former pastor, he was Greek and he got away with poor grammar. But he would say the bigness of God. And that is probably the most exciting thing, the bigness of God, because there are no limitations.
What I would like to see people take away from an experience at Cresheim Valley Church is the attitude, gee, I need to come back. Why? Because they heard something, they met someone, they were involved in something that is infinitely significant in their lives. And so we hope that from the person who greets you, to the prayers that are offered, to the hymns that are sung, to the scriptures that are read, to the word that is preached, you will be touched. You will experience God's grace and working in such a way that you say, God is in this place, and I want to be back here to meet with Him again.